Okay, it's our second day of Guy Friends co-host week. Elizabeth's husband, Tim, is with us today. Very cool to have him here. Very, oh, whoa. Hope that was Tim.
Coming up on The View. All week long, the co-host Guy Friends are sitting in as special guest co-hosts. And today, Elizabeth's one and only Tim Hasselbeck is hitting the table for the whole show. And the gloves are off in Hot Topics. From why Sherry's got a new bone to pick with Tigers mistress Rachel Yucatel, to the latest state boycotting Arizona, and who Arizona's boycotting back. Plus, who Tim thought was numero uno on last night's Dancing with the Stars. And Lost star Jorge Garcia is telling you why you can't afford to miss tonight's episode. If he'll miss the island once it's over, and showing you the audition tape he did for another character on Lost. Then, Senator Fred Thompson's revealing if he has plans to make a run for the White House, and how joining the show Law & Order saved his life. All that, Hot Topics and more, coming up on The View.
Tim, sit on down.
Normally we have our guest co-host sit in the middle, but you guys are married.
Yeah,
so.
we're getting some quality time today. This is the only time we're alone without the kids. You know,
well, welcome to The View. And all week, we have our Guy Friends coming to co-host with us. And Elizabeth invited her husband, Tim Hasselbeck. Elizabeth says, my dear, that you are her best friend. Now, a lot of people don't think it's possible for men and women to be best friends. Now, clearly that's not so.
I hope I'm her best friend. I mean, had she invited like 4 other guys and then been like, hey, listen, everyone said no, will you come on? Like, it would have been a major issue, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, we spend a lot of time with each other.
Yeah, we do.
Well, you got 3 kids.
A lot of time together.
Yeah, I was going to say.
My best friend.
Do you guys run out of stuff to talk about after you, take away the kids? Like
No, because with the kids, we don't even talk during dinner to each other. We just look at them and they talk, and we just keep shoveling food at them and napkins and forks and whatever they needed, and they go to bed, and at about 8:30, then we kind of talk.
But things have changed. We were talking about it last night. We've actually been dating or married for 12 years. And so
that's how it all started, right there, guys.
Yeah, right. But it was different. I had hair, which is part of it. You know, I mean, a lot has changed, but now so much of our time is devoted to our kids. And our relationship,
a real one of when we first started dating.
Changed. It's changed over time, but yeah, I think that we've become, closer friends as time has gone on, and truthfully, I don't think I would be okay if she was really, really close to another guy.
If he's straight.
Definitely if he's straight. But yeah, I don't think I would be okay with that.
Well, he was fine the other night when I said, hey, Tim, I'm going to go over my friend so-and-so's house. We're just going to, do some wrapping of gifts. We're going to, talk about some stuff and watch a TV show. He's fine with that because my friend is gay. If that guy was straight, he wouldn't be so fine with that.
What the heck you need to rep something for?
Moves on your wife if he was straight?
She's attractive. Obviously, I find her attractive. But I think that, that would be part of it. But I also know guys. I mean, she wouldn't be okay with me, being friends with a woman and, confiding into...
If he had a best friend who, I'm going to go over Mindy's house and, talk? No, I wouldn't be.
What about Mindy? No, she's just saying Mindy. But I'm asking, though, what about Tim?
We don't know who Mindy is.
What about friends that you guys had before you were married? Like if Elizabeth had a best friend before you got married, would that be okay to break? And if she became friends with, he became friends with you as well?
I think we have friends. And there's certainly couples that we're friends with where I'm friends with the wife and she could be friends with the husband and we get along. But having that best friend, I think that's more the issue.
A gay friend a lot of times is more dangerous because she could be on the phone saying, hello, I can't stand him today. And that is a more intimate thing to do than if she was with a straight guy who she was not intimate. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, and so I don't know that I'm would be worried about her as much. I know guys. Last time I was on the show, we talked about Tiger Woods, and we talked about a lot of guys.
But then she shouldn't trust you based on what you just said, because you're a man.
The other women.
Listen, I don't blame her for not wanting me to have, a best friend that's a woman, and I wouldn't want to do that. Yeah.
I know men. Is it really a trust issue, or is it because I'm sure you guys trust each other to know that you're not going to do that?
It's also a time issue, though, which I think a lot of people don't pay attention to. If you, especially when you've got 3 kids, you're both working, if you're going to take time to go to dinner with somebody and it's not your spot, I'm thinking, wait a minute, we haven't been on a date in a month. You're going to go chit-chat with some other woman who might think you're kind of cute?
I think the other issue is, I definitely trust Elizabeth, and I believe she trusts me, but I don't know that I would want to put myself in a situation where I could make a mistake, or she could make a mistake.
That's good.
So you just stay further away from the mistake.
And let me tell you why you don't want to do that. Tiger Woods' mistress, Rachel Yucatel, who is also admitted to a relationship with David Boreanaz.
You got it.
Who else?
That's a hard name. Boreanaz.
Born in the USA.
Like Borealis.
Yes.
Borealis?
It sounds
We
like
know
that.
from the picture.
Yeah, what is it? Angel.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? Or Bones,
Yeah.
okay? Tells Us magazine, I got it this time, that angry text messages she sent to him portray her in a false light, and she never had any intention of breaking up the family. I'm sorry, that was so bizarre that she said she never had any intention of, but she went to bed with him. Okay,
And this is, can I read the text? She said, I need you here so we could be together. This is a text that they got, allegedly that they got. And he texted her, this is not a good time. She texted, I can't do this anymore, just go. Just bleeping go and be with her. Then he texts, why do you act like such a bleeping child? She is my wife. Then she texts, oh, please. Then she says, you're such a liar, you're never leaving, you're wasting my time, and I'm once again alone. I can't bleeping be alone anymore. I've been alone my entire life. Well, then you know what? If you've been alone, this is what I understand. Thank you. And you know what makes me so mad is that here we are having to apologize to this woman for maligning her name. Well, I mean, I don't know. It seems like you could tell. It seems like you got a track record with seeing married men. Why don't you go get a single man? Go get an old man. Don't get somebody else's man. But you know, and the thing about, and what does it say? You knew the people were married. You knew about the kids. Why don't you stop trying to take somebody else's lifestyle in their life? And what does it say about your self-esteem, baby? Get yourself a single man and stop worrying about trying to be alone.
That's
Because being alone, you can be happy being alone, but don't go after somebody else's man because you don't want to be alone.
Tell her.
Hey, Sherry.
Because he's not leaving. You are the chick on the side, baby.
Right. The woman, she can't, obviously she can't be with a single guy. She's a gorgeous woman. There are men out there for her. She wants to be with a married guy.
She needs to go get a counselor.
She just wants a best friend who's married. That's all she wants.
The single ladies, the single ladies, the single ladies, the single ladies.
It's all about, with that desire to always break a marriage up.
But then
to
you
be
know what I said?
Wait a minute. To be between mommy and daddy. That's the psychological root of this.
I hope the psychological root of it is that that it doesn't come back to bite you in the ass. Because you know what? If you get a man, you better hope another woman doesn't text your husband the way you have been texting these ladies' husbands. I just, karma.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Hold on, girl. Preach, baby. Preach.
It's a little personal.
Because you know what, lady? You know what could happen to you? The same thing that's happening right now. Seattle has joined LA, San Diego, and Austin, Texas, not only in ostracizing your behind, but boycotting Arizona over their immigration law.
Yes.
But now Arizona is doing the boycotting too. They're boycotting the people who are boycotting them. I boycott you back. So it's a boycott. It's a boy fight.
You did it to me, I'm going to do it to you.
And they're urging their residents to cancel travel plans to San Diego. Not. I don't think so. It's too much. But here,
It's interesting though, because this whole thing really came about because Arizona is like this little teenage kid who feels like no one did this for me, right? So I'm going to try to do it for myself. I don't feel safe, so I'm going to try to protect myself. Federal government didn't do it. I'm going to try. And the fact of the matter is, Chuck Norris put it really well today. If you read his article, he said, "How are we able to secure the border in Iraq and Afghanistan and not secure our own as a government?"
I don't know that they have been able to exactly do it in Afghanistan.
But we've made great gains there in terms of securing foreign border.
Well, what happened with John McCain? For the longest time, I thought he was trying to pass this immigration reform, the DREAM Act, and now he's totally let that go. And now he's saying,
because he's running against someone even more conservative than he is.
So now he's got to change.
And so he's leaning so far to the right, he's going to tip over.
But the thing with the border that's amazing is because of all the boycotts, the only thing that's done with the border is actually moved it further north. The only people not going to Arizona now are people in San Diego, California, high schools in Illinois, but yet people from south of the border continue to come in. That's the point that doesn't make sense.
Here's and this has been my bitch the whole time about this whole issue about illegals. Either we're talking about illegals or we're going to get specific. Get specific. Say what you mean. Say who you're talking about so we're all really clear. Because I'm all for making sure that people whose visas have gone away, that they're done, that they go and through the process like everybody else.
Because you're saying there are Canadians who are illegal.
There are French, there are Canadians, there are Italians, there's all kinds of people.
Mexicans, come on.
Well, then let's get real, because let's get real.
That's what they're saying.
And the issue is that
but they're not saying it. They're saying illegal.
No, but they're saying they don't believe in racial profiling. There's no other way to stop people except do racial profiling.
Why?
How else would you
the only illegal people in Arizona? No, it's not the only way. Not by law.
Racial profiling by law, though.
In fact, not by law, maybe, but in fact.
There are all kinds of laws in place to deal with this. And if somebody would grow the to do what we, the people, have put in place, there are laws up the yin-yang. And no one is dealing with them.
I would have trouble identifying a Canadian. I can't tell what a Canadian looks like, can you? So it's hard
you don't know that all dark people that you see are Mexican.
But that's where you're going to be stopping.
Exactly.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You can't tell who's all got to go. So I'm sorry.
Yes,
I'm sorry. We got to go. We'll be right back with more Hot Topics. Sorry. All right.
Hey, it's Jorge Garcia from Lost. Whoopi was just in here trying to pry some secrets out of me. Well, let's see what happens on the couch.
Yesterday, I was on a segment I taped for Dr. Oz, and he's got TV show, the Dr. Oz Show. So I asked about light bladder leakage, and I did, because what woman is sitting in this audience right now is not afraid to sneeze? Okay? Or you laugh too hard, you get a, But I don't think I understand or agree with Dr. Oz had to say about it. Check it out. You'll see. Listen, I've been diagnosed with light bladder leakage. I want to know what causes this embarrassing condition, and could I have prevented it?
If this is the bladder here, you have the urethra coming out from below. That's what all you see normally is that little bit there. But what I want to do is show you what's happening on the inside. Normally it's supposed to be kinked the way this is kinked, but over time, if you've had babies, as you have, or if you've got extra weight on board, like this, right, it puts pressure on there. Now, I want you to gently unkink that, but hold the water. Hold this little tip there.
So I take this out?
Yep.
Oh.
Good. It starts to leak.
Oh, yeah.
Put it back on again.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no. Oh. Now you got a problem. Now you got big time leakage. Oh, no.
Now, does Kegels help?
Excuse me? I just had a little, I have a stream.
That seemed like an actual malfunction when she was trying to take the clip off. She took too much. I don't think she was talking about your bladder.
But it's very interesting. I did not know that, because they were saying being overweight, that it actually sits on top of it. But did Kegels help with that?
Yes.
I don't think so.
Not for the.
I have a question. How did I end up here? I mean, can Dr. Oz figure that one out for me?
I'm scared of what he would say to you. I'm afraid of what he would tell you happened that
like,
got
is
you
that black
here.
clip the Kegel exercise? Like that black clip on there?
Kegels can help to strengthen it,
Yeah.
but with age, this also happens.
Yeah.
With children, it happens. With fat, if stuff is sitting out. I understand all that. It was the stream that I objected to.
Yeah,
Well,
that
maybe
was,
some
that was
people
an
have more of a
accidental
stream.
flow right there, I think. I think
That
it was
was
an
the whole
accidental
thing
flow.
I objected to, actually. So,
Well, listen, if you think that's freaky, listen to this. Tabloids report the star of the Tudors, Jonathan Rhys-Meyers, who Sherry has been all over. He has been banned for life, child, for life, from United Airlines for flying into a drunken rage supposedly flying into a drunken rage. I wasn't there before boarding a flight and shouting the N-word to employees from the airline.
You know this happened a few years ago with Dog the Bounty Hunter, who said the N-word in his house. And it's like when you
Well,
really...
he apologized profusely.
He did apologize.
Yes, he did.
Endlessly.
Yes.
Endlessly.
He still is.
He still is apologizing. But it's like, you know, when you really like somebody, because y'all know when Jonathan comes on the show, I pretty much promise my paycheck to Jonathan Rhys for one night, you know, and that was a joke. But I just think he's somebody that I really like, I really admire. So when you find out that somebody's drunk, because I believe that when you're drunk, that's when stuff from the heart
They say
it comes
vino
out.
veritas, which
that
means in when you're drinking, the truth comes out.
The truth comes out. So it's
like
very,
Mel
very
Gibson.
disappointing.
Mel Gibson was also drinking when he was
When he
spouting
did
all
all
those
that.
anti-Semitic
But the
slurs.
stupidity definitely comes out.
It makes you look at a person twice. When they say something like that, you know, I like Jonathan, I'm a fan, but it just, you know, I was very disappointed when I heard
Still a fan now?
Am I still a fan? I think he's a great actor. I know Jonathan has had a lot of trouble in the past, and I really hope that he gets it together because he loses fans when stuff like that
He
happens.
needs to come on The View and apologize profusely like Dog did.
The dog, the
We're
bounty
very
hunter.
good at apologies
But
here.
will you mean it? I mean, do you mean it because you got caught?
You know what? Stupid
Let's see.
behavior, drunks and stupid behavior are synonymous.
Yeah, a lot of times.
Drunks say stuff, and they have no clue. We say that it's the truth. They have no clue
No, but you know what?
that they have often said stuff and done stuff. That's why people think they can drive.
It still hurts, though.
You know, yes.
You drive the car drunk, you hurt someone, the person still hurts.
I like it when a drunk goes like this, you know, I really love you, baby. That's my kind of in vino veritas.
No, but see, anytime someone is impaired, they cannot know what they're doing. They're
you're right,
doing
'cause
dumb stuff.
I
Because
have-
that's why I'll speak for you guys too. When we're on stage, I can't handle drunks in the audience because because they think, oh, somebody left. I'm part of the show now. They have no idea. And when you see them the next day at the casino, they're like, oh, I'm so sorry.
Right.
And I say, well, yeah.
You
So
know what?
don't drink anymore, fool. Go ahead.
Yeah.
What, baby?
No, I was going to say with the stupidity, because I go through that with Andy Dick all the time, and he'll say stuff drunk, and I know good and well he doesn't mean it.
Well, his
so.
name tells it all.
Wow.
Andy.
Yeah, we'll be back with more Hot Topics. Less than 24 hours after Rima Fakih was crowned Miss USA, photos emerged of her in a 2007 radio contest called Stripping 101.
She's not stripping.
Yeah, and that's
She's wearing shorts.
She's wearing shorts. And there could be
The producers of this show come to work like that sometimes.
And that looks like it's all females. It's not like
They know
it's
who they
dudes that she's stripping in front of. And the pictures that we showed last week of all of the contestants were way more revealing than this.
Did
what
she
she's
win?
got on.
Is she the winner of that contest?
This is her.
Oh, that's her.
Here's the
That was part of the thing to pose like that. That was Donald
That was
Trump's
an
call.
advertisement. Is it that she won that stripping contest? Is that what they're saying? Because
I don't know.
then she had to, if it is in the contest to then strip, and she won the contest, so even though the photo doesn't show it, if she did win it and she had to strip,
I'm sorry, say it
depends
again.
on what the morals clause is in the contract.
She did win, and
She
Did
won.
they
it was a pole dancing contest. It was not a stripping
what did
contest.
she
No
win?
harm
See
in
that
that.
picture? Do you
What
have that
did-
picture of
do
her
we know what
dancing
she
on the
won?
pole?
What did she win? Tim wants to know.
Tim wants to know what she wants.
Why?
That's something you got to take up with your husband, girl. He want to know.
I can't repeat that. I can't say that. The FAA might be out here, or the FCC or somebody.
The question is, when you say about the morals clause, I think when Donald Trump, with all the Carrie Prejean stuff, when Donald Trump opened it up for, now they can pose in the lingerie and they do the sexy items, I kind of thought the morals clause went out the window.
And in fact, the morals clause wasn't technically what got Carrie Prejean fired or
She did a sex tape.
decrowned.
That's different
No,
from
but
wearing
that
fashion
wasn't
houses.
that was an
her.
understory, okay? So that was sort of undulating, right? They used that, they say, to get her to say, I'm going to back off. Technically, they say they fired her because she did appearances that weren't approved by them. And that is what contractually was broken.
Listen to this. Miss Oklahoma, Morgan Elizabeth Woolard, was first runner-up. But some people say it was this answer to a question about Arizona's immigration law that cost her the crown. Check it out.
I'm a huge believer in states' rights. I think that's what's so wonderful about America. So I think it's perfectly fine for Arizona to create that law. And I am against illegal immigration, but I'm also against racial profiling. So I see both sides in this issue.
Oh, well, she fixed it up. Because she got booed for that. And it sounded like she got booed when she said, I'm for states making the laws. And then
What
she
state
came.
was this in when she...
I don't know.
See, I think by showing that split screen, because it kind of brought you back to the, what's his face? Perez Hill, who was the judge?
Perez
President
Hilton.
and Carrie Prejean, and that whole answer, you had this flashback of, okay, is she now turning a judge, and will this now make her not win?
Right.
I think really what they need to do with these pageants is open it up half to the audience, like we see with Dancing the Stars, like we see with American Idol, so that it's not all on the judges. If you said something to tick off a judge, now they're not going to vote for you.
But is it possible that she just wasn't good enough?
Sure.
But Whoopi, they said, I'm sorry, Tim.
No, I was just
never
going to say, in
know.
terms of how she answered the question, I mean, was it offensive? She said she sees both sides of it.
Well, at the beginning, I think
She's fine, but the Arab girl, the Muslim girl, is more controversial right now. They're not stupid. They want people to watch.
Who's that?
And also,
Whoever these judges are,
But the girl that won, they said that she tripped on her dress, that she made a couple gaffes.
And she's stunningly beautiful.
Yeah.
And as far as I remember, this is all about how you look. It's not about if you can walk and talk. It's about how you look.
Beautiful, right?
Didn't she look like Heidi
Either one could have won. Yeah, either
We're
one.
saturated with blondes. We need a few brunettes to win.
All right. Now, hey, hold on. We're not
I'm trying to
saturated.
do both, okay? I see both sides.
And so do we see
Until I
both
see
sides.
Keith today at 4.
I didn't know you were. I thought the curtains. Never mind. Now,
Keith, my best
Elizabeth
friend.
and Tim, you two are appearing together in a new ad campaign for milk. Will you tell us about it, please?
It's actually neat, because we partnered with Milk and working with Scholastic, and they're actually celebrating families giving back to the community. And we're actually going to celebrate this really cool family, the Clifford family, who've done amazing work in their own community. And it's more about what you can do locally, too, to kind of help the world if everybody does that.
Right.
And so it's an honor to be a part of it. It was fun to do the milk ad, too.
She wasn't allergic to it, so that was good.
Is it because you're always breastfeeding that they asked you to do this?
I make my own, that's right.
That's right.
We probably
So,
consume more of it
she
than that.
is milk.
I am milk.
She is
I'm
milk.
Mama Milk.
Now, you know what? We're done with the hot topics, but man, when we come back, we are coming back with one of the stars of Lost, Jorge Garcia. Come on back with us. Tonight is the last episode of Lost before Sunday night's epic season finale. And I'm going to be right on the edge of my seat, child, watching this thing, because, I want to know everything. So let's just say it outright. Let's get Hurley out here, okay? Please welcome back Jorge Garcia. Sunday night, man, is the finale. I mean, it's 2.5 hours long.
Yeah.
Are more people dying because Jen and Son are gone? They're two characters you learn to love, and then suddenly they were gone, and Saeed is gone. Everybody's gone, man.
Yeah, it's a whole race of death to the end, pretty much.
So we don't know.
How about you? You make it to the end?
Well, you're gonna have to watch, really.
Okay, well,
You can tell us.
I know we so want to know. So, okay, so like Whoopi said, tonight is the last, it's a new 1-hour episode of Lost.
Yeah.
And we have a sneak peek of Hurley, who has this encounter with some island ghosts. Let's take a look.
You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Give me the ashes.
What? Who are you?
Give me the ashes you took from Alana's things after she died. I know they're in your pocket.
Why?
Because they're mine.
What do you want them for?
Hey! Wow.
So angry.
Wow, I'm telling you, you seem like Jacob at all. Now,
Well,
Why?
Jacob was a little feistier when he was younger. It seemed
yeah, I
like.
guess so.
You know, I was reading that the writers said that they knew what the ending of this whole series was going to be when they wrote the thing in the first place. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, when you see the end, I think you'll see what they are referring to. Like, they know what the last final image of Lost is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know how sure they were about everything else that happened in between.
No,
but,
the beginning and the end. They had a
Yeah.
concept, and this is the way it's going to go.
Bookends.
Yeah.
And you said that tonight's episode is really special. Why is it special?
Well, I really feel like this is kind of part one of the finale, because this is really the episode that sets the finale in motion.
Okay.
Now, why? This is just a question that I've had for a while. Now, I meant to ask it last week. Why do so many of the survivors of the plane crash look like family?
What do you mean?
Look like family.
What do you mean?
You don't know what I'm talking about?
What do you mean? Like, look like they could be family?
Like, yeah, like they're somehow related.
Oh,
Wow.
Is this a theory?
No, I'm surprised you didn't notice that Kate looked a lot like Hurley. You didn't notice that their hair was quite.
Yeah, they do look alike.
And the more I started looking at folks over the time, everybody seems to look like they are related. Now, is that just me? Because I'm out there?
It's like husbands and wives or people and their dogs. After a while, they start to look alike. Look at those two.
Right.
We look like each other?
Must be that.
I think because you see them so much together that they.
Because you know. You have to.
Interesting thought.
It's just.
You know what?
If that's a mystery that you're hoping to get resolved,
no.
don't hold your breath.
No, but y'all do say that a lot of the folks do look, you know,
interesting.
blondes and brunettes. And why we learned about the alternate universe.
Right.
One is the island world where the crash happened. The other is the sideways world where the crash did not happen, but something else happened. I don't know. Which world is real? What are we seeing? That's what I need to know, Jorge.
Well, yeah, you can't write off either reality. Like, you can't say one is real, the other's not real. But it pays off real nice.
All right. Now listen. You did 5 years in Hawaii, man.
6.
6 years in Hawaii. And you're coming back. What's that like?
I'm kind of dreading it a little bit. Yeah. You know? I think this whole ending hasn't fully hit me. Like, I feel like when it's really going to hit me is when I get on that plane that last time in Honolulu and know I'm flying back to LA
What are you going to
indefinitely.
do? What are you going to do with yourself?
I don't know. I'll have to figure that out.
Yeah.
Day by
Stand
day.
up, maybe. You can
Day by
always
day.
do
Yeah,
stand
you
up.
might
He
go
did it,
back
now
to
you
that,
can do
right?
it again.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to kind of revisit
I
writing
think a lot
material.
of people are wondering what they're going to do after this Lost finale. I want to let fans know out there something really important. All fans of Lost, you guys can get something really cool to commemorate the last season. If you log on to officiallostphotos.com, you can purchase this one-of-a-kind photo of the survivors of Ocean. Oceanic 815, and you better act fast because there are only 815 of these limited edition photos available. Okay, so Jorge, tell us, in your mind, what's so special about this one in particular?
This one is special. Look how young we look. This one is special because this one
That's really cool.
is Whoopi's. So now you got 814.
814, that's so great. And what is it, like 70 million people to fight over it?
Oh, thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Look how,
Thank you.
look at that cherub-like face and the...
Thank you. Oh,
That is
thank
that's
you.
all
I
we
do
talked
love the
about as
show.
well.
I
You start
do
to lick
love
her
the
lips
show.
a little when Elizabeth started talking about it. Like, I want it. And I got it.
Thank you. Thank you. Listen, you can catch the new episode of Lost tonight at 9 o'clock. And don't miss the series finale airing Sunday night at 9 p.m. right here on ABC. It's been a great ride with Lost. When we come back, we're going to take another ride with Senator Fred Thompson.
Who starred in blockbusters like Die Hard 2 and TV's Law and Order, shares how growing up in a small Tennessee town taught him how to navigate life in Hollywood and D.C. in his memoir, Teaching the Pig to Dance. Please welcome Senator Fred Thompson. Welcome, Senator.
Thank you.
You're the pig.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the pig.
I'm the pig. It's good to be with you. I'm sorry I missed that leaky bladder segment a while ago.
Tim was here.
You're not sad you missed it.
You just have to hope it doesn't
I'm a
happen
big
to
fan
you.
of his. Yeah, you know, if the lighting's not exactly right, it makes it look like I'm balding a little. Do you have that problem up there?
We had to speak with him.
You're such
I
an
appreciate
actor,
the
you know
company.
that? You're such an actor.
It's about time people decided that was the...
Well, you've had every career in tarnation.
You really have.
Actor, what
Did
else?
you just say
Attorney.
incarnation?
Isn't there a phrase
You gotta
like
watch
that?
your language on this show.
But you're an actor, an attorney, and a senator. That's a big resume.
I've had a hard time keeping a job over the years, but I have. But I'm enjoying what I'm doing now more than any of that. Mostly nothing.
Talk to us about the title, though. Teaching the Pig to Dance.
Teaching the pig to dance. There's an old saying, around my neck of the woods anyway, that when you're doing something that's totally fruitless, that it's kind of like teaching a pig to dance. It's a waste of your time and it irritates the pig. And teaching me anything as I was coming up was kind of like trying to teach a pig to dance. My teachers felt that way. My parents felt that way.
Were you all
well, that's putting it gently, I guess. I almost flunked, barely graduated from high school. Almost would have probably got kicked out of high school if they'd known what I was up to. But usually, you know, kind of good.
A little devilish.
Well, I was practicing my come on look, yeah, a little bit.
You write about high school. You talk about, you talked about the small town in Tennessee. You were married in high school. You had a son before you graduated. And you say in the book, there's nothing like an unexpected demonstration of incompetence to help a young man adjust his attitude. And this was called, what was it, the Washateria incident. Can you talk about this?
Oh, yeah. Well, it's a book about second chances, and it's a book about what I did bad and the punishment I got for it and the consequences and so forth, and the fact that I had a heavy dose of reality. A lot of things happen in a short period of time. And I had to start to try to get my act together, and I thought I was in pretty good shape. But we moved off, we started college together, my wife and I, and our little baby boy, and I was sent to the Washateria, the laundromat, to wash the dirty diapers. So it's snap. She gave me the detergent and everything. So I went down there, and all the other ladies were there and so forth. And I walked in, and I put my diapers in, put the detergent in, turned things on, and realized I'd put the dirty diapers into the dryer. And I had to decide whether or not to keep feeding it quarters and look like I knew what I was doing, or face the consequences, or I opened that door up, and brought people to their knees.
Because it was hot and smelly.
It was bad. It was bad. So I said, listen, I'm in over my head. I need help.
Well, this is so funny. Now, while you were practicing law, you kind of stumbled on acting. I want to know how you went from being a lawyer to being an actor.
Well, some say that that journey is not a very long one, but it was totally accidental, like a lot of good things that have happened in my life. stumbled into it is a good way of putting it. They made a movie, make a long story short, they made a movie about a case I had. I've represented a courageous young woman in Tennessee who took on a corrupt governor, and one thing led to another. Peter Moss wrote a book about it, Marie, and they made a movie about it starring Sissy Spacek and Morgan Freeman. I had a bigger part than Morgan Freeman.
That was then. That was then.
Last time that ever happened. But so I wound up playing myself in the movie. The trial was a big part of it, and we had some other scenes and so forth. So they came and said, "Okay, we want you to do this. We got to talk about money." And I said, "All right, but I'm not going to pay an arm and a leg." So I had to learn a few things about that too. I figured they couldn't tell me I wasn't doing the part right, but they did.
Yeah.
But I got through it and wound up. I've done 20, 25 features and
What's the one that people remember you most from?
Well, there's a story in the book that indicates the answer to that question, and that was when I made my what they call the maiden speech in the Senate. An old-timer came back to him, and I was talking about Congress living under the same laws as everybody else, you know, kind of a quaint notion, don't you think?
Yeah.
And I had introduced a bill to that effect, and so an old-timer came over to me and said, "Thompson," said, "that was your first speech." I said, "Right, yeah. Well, that was very good. Thank you, sir." And he said, "I just have one question." Of course, I was girded to talk about the constitutionality of whatever you wanted. He said, "Was that a real submarine y'all used in Hunt for Red October?"
That's what people really want.
Hunt for Red October. What's Sean Connery really like?
Yes. Law and Order, man.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, I was very disappointed to see it go. 20 years, you know, you can't complain about. But one more year would have broken the record with Gunsmoke. And I was disappointed in that. Of course, it meant a lot to me personally. I think the New York Times said it better, said, only in America could someone be taken from the obscurity of the United States Senate and elevated to the position of DA of New York, like I was. And
you said it indirectly saved your life, Law and Order. How did it do that?
Well, I was doing as all of you here are so familiar, for one walk of life or another, you know, you go through these physicals, and some of them can be pretty slapdash, you know, kind of pro forma, you know, so they don't want the actor falling out on the set if possible. So they were doing, you know, a little thing and touching, and so he says, "You got a little thing here you might ought to have checked." And of course, I didn't pay any attention to him. I assumed it was a gland or something. And but after a while, it didn't go away, and there was a little knot there, and it turned out I had a form of lymphoma.
Oh, I see.
And they were able to get on it, and I did some treatments. Been some years ago.
So you wouldn't have found that without that?
Well, I would have. It would have been a heck of a lot longer. I don't know what would have happened, and I don't want to know what would have happened.
No, we don't either.
But
we're glad you took care of yourself.
you know, pay attention. You old guys especially, you know, when somebody tells you ought to have something check it out. You know?
It's a good message. You know, Senator, we are thankful you're here. I love the lessons in this book. We certainly do. Please come back. Our thanks to Fred Thompson. Everyone in our audience, by the way, is going home with a copy of the book. You're going to like it. We'll be right back.
Hasselbeck, man, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Aww.
And tomorrow, my friend is coming. He's going to co-host with us, Andre Leon Talley. So see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Take a little time to enjoy The View.